pressure for Chilwell. It's lashed in by Ben Chilwell. And he's in again. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Here's Rodriguez. Absolutely inevitable.
Raheem Sterling finds the bottom corner. Phillips with the corner. Ederson's lost it. Rodrigo for Leeds United.
To finish it off for West Ham, he does just that.
Right into the corner. It's a pinpoint finish from Pedro Neto.
Tata again.
Come on, you guys. In a total trust.
Anthony Martial sent off. Here is Son getting in behind again. They're ripping up United. Harry Kane wallops Manchester United for 6.
Watkins. And he's found the top right-hand corner. And Grealish is in again. History made. Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
Aston Villa, you beauty.
Hello, welcome to the Analysis Show as we look back at the weekend's games in the Premier League. What a weekend it was, and great to see some of you fans enjoying it around the world as well. Delighted to say I've got Tim Sherwood alongside me in the studio. Tim, we didn't expect what we saw this weekend. On Sunday at about 2 o'clock, I thought West Ham would be the big story, beating Leicester away from home 3-0. But then the rest of the day happened. Man United hit for 6, Liverpool hit for 7. What a weekend.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, we know this league is the most unpredictable league in the world, but there was nothing. I've never seen anything like them two games, the Manchester United and the Liverpool games. You know, incredible, fantastic for Tottenham and for Aston Villa. It's up to Man United now and Liverpool, the two giants of English football for so many years, to pick themselves up.
It was incredible, and we will look at United and Liverpool. But going to Saturday as well, and we've not even mentioned it yet, Leeds against Man City. Yeah. It was a fantastic game. Only 2 goals, but what a game. End-to-end stuff, wasn't it?
I was absolutely shattered watching this game. I mean, it was just end-to-end. I mean, it was just so tiring. Because we've been in there, we know what it's like to keep going at it toe-to-toe. I mean, we have to give an enormous amount of credit for Bielsa and that Leeds side to have the belief that they can go at Liverpool in the first game of the season. Yeah. And then they get the best footballing team in the league, you know, on their day in Man City. And they do the same to them. Put pressure on them high up the field, try and nick the ball, forwards runners. Look, Man City could have been out of sight within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But fantastic for a team who's just come into the league to show that sort of intent.
Well, we're only 3 or 4 games in for some teams. Let's look at the table, and there's only 2 teams with 100% record. That's Everton and Aston Villa. Yeah. Bit of a surprise.
Is a surprise, but done brilliantly in the transfer market, both of these teams, and I think it's paying off. You know, Everton, magnificent. Calvert-Lewin on absolute fire at the moment. And for Aston Villa, you know, Martinez in goal has been a massive plus for them. You know, brought in Matty Cash, and the biggest signing of all for Aston Villa has to be the keeping Jack Grealish at the football club. Brilliant, good start for both of those sides.
Absolutely. Bottom of the table. Didn't expect to see the 2 Manchester clubs, did we, in the bottom half at this stage?
Not at all. I mean, waiting to get into a rhythm, especially Manchester United. You know, they've had 1 win out of 3, and it's not been good enough. And they got lucky at Brighton away last week. Man City, on the other hand, I still think there's a lot more to come from them.
Transfer deadline day yesterday. Any moves that caught your eye particularly? Cavani to Man United, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, Cavani's not played for 7 months. I mean, it's a massive risk for Manchester United, but a risk, unfortunately, for them at this stage, they need to take. You know, Cavani, we know what a world-class player he can be. I mean, if he can go in there and hit the floor running, then it'd be a massive asset to the club. Thomas Partey, for me, is someone who Arsenal need. They need that destroyer in the middle of the park. He's played at Atletico Madrid for one of the most intense managers in Simeone. I think he has to be a magnificent signing for Arsenal.
Everton have splashed the cash, and they've brought a goalkeeper in as well. Jordan Pickford hasn't been in the best of form, has he?
Yeah, be looking behind him now, Jordan. I don't think they had anyone to come in if Jordan's form dropped. Even though they're going so well, it's in spite of Jordan Pickford, unfortunately.
Just on Cavani, whose position does he take in that United front line?
Martial, you'd have to say at the moment.
I know Martial's suspended.
But Martial can come in and play on the left-hand side, so maybe Greenwood can get a little bit of a rest, or Marcus Rashford. He just gives them more options. But what he does allow them to do is go longer. They're getting caught in possession, trying to play out too short. He allows them to hit it up the field. He's a big focal point, holds the ball up, and he can run in behind. Just depending on how much legs he's got left, you know, he's getting on in age now.
Yeah, and I know you said you like Partey. Arsenal, was that a necessity signing, do you think, for Mikel Arteta?
I think it was a gap what they needed. They needed someone who can win that ball back and destroy, who can get him play to his limitations, and I think he does that. I think they've got good flair players. We know what the firepower they carry at the top end of the field, and I think Thomas Partey will be excellent in the centre of midfield, destroying all the attacks from the opposition.
Incredible weekend, wasn't it, in the Premier League? And this is what's coming up on today's show. Going to start by looking at Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp described his team as losing the plot at Aston Villa. We'll analyse that defeat. We'll also look at Man United, a heavy beating for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He described that as his worst day and in his Man United career, not just as a manager. And we'll also look at the table toppers. That's Everton, and that man, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, is in incredible form. As ever, we want to hear from you on Twitter. Use the hashtag PLFans, and we've got Leroy Rossini upstairs. Leroy, who do you want to hear from?
Well, we want to hear from everybody, Matt. As you said, you're going to be talking about Liverpool, Villa, Man United's defending or lack of defending. Everton, you're top of the table. Everton fans, get in touch. I'll be talking about high lines, recovery runs, lack of recovery runs. So get in touch using the hashtag PLFans. And remember, for our full terms and conditions and to see our privacy policy, please visit the official Premier League website.
Brilliant. Thanks, Leroy. Right, we are going to start at Villa Park, where the champions will hit for 7.
Adrian with a pass for Joe Gomez, which has caused all kinds of problems. Wow. And Ollie Watkins gives Aston Villa a 4th-minute lead. And it's Watkins trying to work the angle, and he's found the top right-hand corner.
What a goal.
That is why they spent the money. Wijnaldum. Jota. Keita trying to turn. Opportunity for Salah, and there's the first one back.
Liverpool right back in the game.
By Watkins, McGinn via a deflection, and Aston Villa's 2-goal lead is restored. Mings letting it run. It's back in for Watkins for a hat-trick. It's 4-1 Aston Villa. Grealish and Barkley linking up a couple of occasions. It's Ross Barkley via a deflection for goal number 5. It is Salah, and there's his second. Goal number 99 in Liverpool colours. Here's Watkins. Grealish. Oh, another deflection and another goal. And Villa have 6. And Grealish is in again. And this could be 7. History made. Jack Grealish scores goals 6 and 7. A destruction. Villa victorious. Aston Villa 7, Liverpool 2.
What an amazing weekend. I don't think any of us expected Liverpool to get beat 7-2 at Aston Villa. I mean, what are the reasons for Liverpool's capitulation, Tim?
They're missing players, for a start. Alisson was a huge miss. Sadio Mane. Henderson was just on the bench. It's very easy to speak in hindsight and say, well, Henderson should have played. He gives them that leadership qualities. But what was glaringly obvious, and it is a stat, you know, the first goal is always the most important goal. And Adrian makes a massive mistake for Aston Villa's first goal. And then they've got a mountain to climb from there on in. Mm-hmm. Didn't expect the capitulation, what we saw from Liverpool. We haven't seen it. You know, you'd have to say it's a blip, because we have to give them the benefit of the doubt, because they haven't showed us that at any stage over the last couple of seasons.
Why do you think we're seeing some of these strange results? You know, City got beat 5. United get beat 6. Liverpool get beat 7. Why?
Well, we're living in a strange world at the moment, and it's breeding into the Premier League, unfortunately, or fortunate for us who are talking about it. We've got lots to talk about. The people at home are getting entertained week in, week out. Unusual results. There has to be a reason for it. I think that no fans in the stadium, I think it's playing a huge part.
Yeah.
Is there enough pressure? Is there enough... Are the players being responsible enough because they haven't got the fans on?
So are they
back?
not playing at the same intensity, did you think?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think the concentration levels are not at their highest. It's almost playing in a... We know it's the biggest league in the world, and we know it's an important Premier League fixture, but it's not the same. Yeah. It's better than nothing, and we all want it to remain, but it's not the same about the fans.
With that in mind, Liverpool missing Jordan Henderson in midfield and Sadio Mane up front really affects them. Yeah. Because of that intensity and the pressure on the front. And that's one of the reasons why Liverpool play a high line, because there's usually pressure on the ball. Yeah. Do you agree?
Well, it's the golden rule. As a coach, you'd always say, no pressure on the ball, drop your line. Liverpool didn't. They didn't have the pressure on the ball for a lot of them goals. Didn't have no pressure, and it's still kept very, very high, and they got exploited by the pace of Ollie Watkins, who was fantastic on the day.
We see Jordan Henderson there on the bench, and obviously incredibly disappointed with the scoreline, but he's a real captain, and they do miss that leadership and that thrust and energy from midfield.
Well, they need that more than ever now. I mean, when they come back after the international break, they can have Merseyside derby. We've got a team who's swagging around in blue shirt from Merseyside, who are going to need some manners put on them. And I think that Jordan Henderson needs an absolute certainty to come back into the midfield area. Yeah. Not only what he gives you on the pitch, but in the dressing room and the leadership qualities. I don't think you would have seen a capitulation like we saw at the weekend if Jordan Henderson was in that team.
And Sadio Mane. I'll go back to Sadio Mane, and we'll play a little bit of a clip of the recent game, actually, against Chelsea, and his intensity. And where we say Liverpool press in the front, they play at a tempo, they play at a really good tempo. Give the ball away. Real disappointment on Sadio Mane's face. You can see he's really upset with himself. He actually runs past his teammate. Yeah. Bobby Firmino.
And he reads situations. He knows that's getting back to Kepa. He knows he's an under-pressure goalkeeper. He knows he's not the most confident at the moment. But he triggers it. So when you see him going with that intensity, everyone else flies in behind.
Yeah, I mean, he's, like I say, straight at the goalkeeper. He knows where the ball's going to go, but he's running past his teammate to get to that and affect the game. And that's exactly what he does. I mean, it's poor from Kepa, the goalkeeper. We know that. But that's the press, isn't it, from the front that Sadio Mane gives you?
It has to come from the front. I think when he does, I mean, Firmino doesn't do it as much. Mo Salah doesn't do it as much, but they still do it.
Do you know, you're absolutely right. I'm just going to highlight this high line again. This is Liverpool. This is their high line. We know that's where they like to play, as high up the pitch as high up the pitch as they possibly can, up at the halfway line. With what we see. Firmino, Salah, this is half-hearted, really, pressing, isn't it, from Liverpool? Agree?
Yeah. Arsenal are good players. They can get out if the press is not intense. Yeah. When the press is intense, like we see when it comes over to the left-hand side like that, then they come unstuck. Any team would. He puts you under pressure. Mane goes in. When he's looking from the other side of the pitch and he's looking at Mo Salah going in there, he must be saying to himself, that's not a press. Yeah. Get tighter. And Jurgen Klopp will be screaming on the side of the pitch, do not go half-hearted. Go or don't go. Yeah.
And against Aston Villa, without pressure on the ball, you can't necessarily play that higher line. No pressure on the ball. Yeah. Now, is that too high for you? Absolutely. If there's no pressure on the ball?
Absolutely too high. Too high when you've got a player like Ollie Watkins. You know, if that's Olivier Giroud or Patrick Bamford, then they can play that high. Someone who can't run in behind with any sort of pace. And they've got Ross Barkley, who comes from deep and joins in. I was about to say that. Yeah. This is Ross Barkley in that position. He actually caused them a lot of problems because of that running from deep. Well, he just steps off the back line, so they're not actually marking him. Are they leaving him to cater in the middle of the pitch? Or Gini Wijnaldum. No, he's dropping into that half-and-half position and he's coming from deep, and his body shape is already facing the way there. So the defenders have to then turn around and try and catch him. But Ross can run. He picks clever runs and he caused them a lot of problems from the deep line runner. I mean, look, they scored 7. They could have had more. Yeah. Aston Villa, there's no question about it. This is the runners now. Ross Barkley, might think he should have done a little bit better. Yeah. This next clip, I think, is actually perfect. Because we've just seen that we're seeing Jota now, who's in the team ahead of Sadio Mane. Yes, he's tried to close down the centre half, but look at the space for Matty Cash.
And now there is absolutely no pressure on the ball when this ball comes to him. So play it on. That's an easy pass for him now. Look at the acres of space he's got. As soon as you get this space and he's about to hit this ball, if you're a centre-half, what are you told to do?
Drop.
Drop deep.
Give the line another 5 yards, especially when you've got midfield runners like Ross Barkley in there, who's facing the way of where the ball's going to arrive. He's stolen march on the defenders. They're very square. They're almost trying to play offside, can't be offside. Ross knows he's onside, and you don't have to be a good player to pass that one because you've got no pressure. There's no, you got like a little bit of planning in him, wouldn't you? I mean, the area what he's got is fantastic. I mean, just to drop it into behind is not. You don't have to be a technically gifted player to do that.
So my question to you is, why do Liverpool persist playing this high line then, when there is no pressure on the ball? I mean, it's worked for them. We know it's worked for them because they've won the Champions League, they've won the Premier League last year, the Champions by a long distance last year as well.
Yeah, like I say, in hindsight, we'd look back, and Jurgen would certainly, he's got a lot of time now to dwell on this result. Yeah. He would look over and he would say, listen, guys, our analysis wasn't good enough. We underestimated this side. I think what Villa did is looked at how Leeds played against them first game of the season. And no, they didn't win the game. They lost 4-3, but they thought, we're better off going high. Let's leave some bodies up the field and we'll put some pressure on them. They'll still keep that high line. Leeds caught them with some forward runners. And Ross Barkley was... If you say to Ross, what we want you to do today, Ross would have thought, oh, the manager's going to want me to sit in and protect there.
But he didn't know, did he?
No. What he actually said to him, D. Smith, I want you to get on the back. I want you to join in, and I want you to play with Jack Grealish, and I want you to support Ollie Watkins. That's music to Ross. That's what Ross wants to do.
As a number 10.
And he caught him.
Yeah. And look, ball over the top. It is Ross Barkley. He goes in on goal. That's another decent save. Near post. OK, into their own half now. Now, this is a little bit further into the game now, isn't it? Again, he's trying to step up, play offside. They do catch, I think, more players offside than any other team in the Premier League because of the way they play.
Yeah.
So it does work for them by playing this high line. Not on this occasion.
No.
Getting behind. Ollie Watkins, I think himself said afterwards he should have had 5.
Yeah, he should.
His first Premier League goals, 3 of them against the champions, and he said he should have had 5.
He would never have dreamt that he was going to come home with that match ball. You know, when he's coming into this game, it's for a difficult fixture. Perhaps they're going to have to put a lot of pressure on their defenders, but they went in time and time again. The player of the match, Jack Grealish, strolls in front of the goalkeeper and puts it in the goal. Yeah. I mean, you cannot leave him with that sort of space. I mean, he opened them up time and time again. Him and Barkley combining together. Watkins obviously was fantastic with his 3 goals, but that guy is everything good about Aston Villa. Liverpool got punished. They've got to dust themselves down. Jurgen's experienced enough. You bring the likes of Jordan Henderson, who won't be on international duty. You'll be there with them, and they're going to help them out.
Just to confirm, as I say, I did say that Liverpool catch their opponents offside more than anybody else. This is why. 155 offsides. Liverpool have caught the opposition. West Ham 114 next. Man City 90. Any reason why? Is that simply because of the high line?
I think because they play a very high line, they've got pace.
But West Ham don't, though, do they?
I think I think West Ham do. I think West Ham play high enough. I think we'll show a bit later on when we talk about West Ham. They move together very nicely as a team. You know, they move up the field in a nice little rhythm. But from set pieces, you don't expect Liverpool to be as high as they got caught out on that one Saturday.
Yeah, strange, wasn't it? OK, let's go upstairs, speak to Leroy Rossignol. I think he's going to talk us through a little bit of analysis about Ollie Watkins, Leroy.
Yeah, absolutely. Tim, I've got this question from Nick. He says, Tim, is that the highest line you've seen from a side defending a wide free kick for the Watkins 3rd goal? I've got it up here, Tim, and I'm sure it is. And I'll just get this first one here, and I'm just going to run it through. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Run it through. And this, Trezeguet gets on the wide one, it's Watkins who heads it in. And we've got this from the higher angle here, and we've given us plenty of time. And I think the big point is that, yes, they keep a high line. You'd expect the line to be somewhere around the 18-yard box. But it's not only that, Tim, when I come back to you, just around there, maybe a little bit higher. But it's not just the high line, it's the way they defend it. And as we play it through, you see there's got the Villa players are taking their time. Just look at Gomez in the wide area. He's not really communicating with anybody. He's not. Trezeguet's outside him. It's Mings who comes down the side of him. Again, just going to...
Leroy, can I just ask Tim, why do you think Liverpool are as high as that?
Because they've got no trust in their goalkeeper. and they don't want the ball dropped on top of him. Now
That seems ultra high, though.
ultra high. For me, minimum they should be, or maximum they should be, is 18-yard line.
18-yard line.
Trezeguet, can I just highlight Trezeguet there at the far post there? He's there. No, this one. I think he's out here. Sorry. Trezeguet there, he's done brilliant because he's given himself some room. He's dropped off the last liner because he knows this is coming across in there. Now, if he's tight in here and that ball was whipped across, it goes out for a throw on. But he gives himself room to be able to trap it. He knows he's going to come in late. When Jack Grealish runs over to Ross Barkley and he said, I can't believe how high that line is. Just whip it in behind their line. Now, they haven't counted for him because if it doesn't hit him, it goes out for a throw on. But he sees it. He sees it. He gives himself some depth and he puts a great ball across the face of the goal.
Leroy?
Yeah, and I mean, you're absolutely spot on, Matt. And if you play it on from there, we'll see what happens. But I think the big thing is that when they don't react, you don't just stand and put your hands up once the ball's gone in. Look at the Liverpool line when this ball goes in. They're all just appealing for offside. There's 4 Villa players in front of them, 6-yard box.
Yeah.
That is absolutely scandalous defending, Tim.
Yes, it's not good enough. And also you could question the goalkeeper there, Adrian. I know I don't want to give him too much. I think he was obviously made the error. But initially, I think he should have been higher off his line. The starting position should have been better.
Yeah.
But perhaps on a penalty spot, I don't think they're going to score into the near post area there. And when that ball goes past him, he has to cut that cross out. He has to help out his defenders.
Yeah.
But Leroy's absolutely right. Defenders have to react also.
Any other tweets, Leroy?
Yeah, got a couple of questions for you, Tim. This one from Andrew Zarbi says, what was the most impressive aspect of Aston Villa's performance?
I think the intent. You know, we expect teams with an inferiority complex against Liverpool and say, well, what we're going to do is we're going to sit back, we're going to protect, we're going to try and contain them. And they took it to them. They had forward runners. They got their good players like Ross Barkley, who's been a fantastic signing, and Jack Grealish. And they said, let's have a go. Let's have a go, see what I can do. And I think that has been born from the first game of the season where Leeds showed that intent. Get at these sides, and I think you're going to see a lot more of it, which is good news for us who are going to talk about it, and the people who are at home are going to have to watch it.
Exactly. Let's look at the Villa team then that took on Liverpool and some of the business that they have done. We talked about the transfer window closing yesterday. Goalkeeper, an area that needed strengthening.
Very good.
Matty Cash, really impressed with. Ross Barkley, very surprised that Chelsea allowed him to leave and go out on loan. And Ollie Watkins up top. So you've strengthened the spine of your team all the way through the middle of the team. You've got your captain who signed a new 5-year deal. And you've also got a number of players, actually, that were signed in the previous summer's transfer window when, actually, people were quite critical of Aston Villa last time. Oh, they splashed the cash, they've signed 13 players, it's too many. If they'd gone down, you could have had that argument. But now, actually, Konza, Mings, Target, Douglas Luiz, Trezeguet, all signed in that transfer window. So you've got 5 players who were in last summer's transfer window and 4 from this summer's transfer window in this team.
Yeah, and they're going to get better. Good players want to play with good players. We saw how Jack Grealish and Ross Barkley were linking up at the weekend. Always in tandem with each other, giving the ball to each other. They can handle the football in tight areas. They loved it. Jack would love the fact that Ross Barkley has come to the football club because he has someone to play with now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not, the onus is just not him. He can dribble the ball as well, Ross. You know, he takes the onus off of Jack, and they've also got someone who threatens him behind.
Yeah.
And because Ollie Watkins threatens him behind, it creates a space for the Ross Barkleys of this world and the Jack Grealishes to play in that number 10 area. Because the space in behind the opposition midfield is so much greater now.
He's massively impressed me, Ollie Watkins. You know, there's always that question mark. Can they step up from the Championship? Can they do it in the Premier League? I was at Fulham last Monday, and he was brilliant.
Yeah.
And not just his running, not just the positions he picked up, but also the fact he'd fight the centre-backs. You know, he'd back into centre-backs. He never made it easy for them to get a clean header. You know, he wanted the scrap, and as much as him wanting to run in behind, and his hold-up play was good. Second top scorer in the Championship last year behind Mitrovic. He massively impressed me.
He's very good. He did it at the weekend as well against one of the best, or the best, Van Dijk.
Yeah.
You know, it was sometimes when they played a nameless ball forward. It wasn't many times, but when they did, they cleared their lines. He nicked free kicks. He got his body in the line. He put his backside into Van Dijk. He was strong. He wasn't getting bullied. He will never get bullied. He's got a good size, but he also knows, and he worries the defenders. They don't want to get too tight, because if it goes in behind, he will get on the end of it because he's quick.
Yeah. 3 from 3. Villa? What can they achieve?
Yeah, I think we need to calm down. You know,
what can they achieve?
I think they can. I think they can be mid-table, and I think that's a success for them. They will add to it. I think they've got a lot of finances at the football club. They will add to this squad of players, perhaps again in January. But so far, so good. You know, 100% record. Stayed in the Premier League, last game of the season last year. That won't happen again this year. They'll be safe and they'll be a mid-table side.
OK, well, it was very impressive, wasn't it, from Aston Villa? Time for a short break. So the champions hit for 7. Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hit for 6. Myself and Tim will look at that defeat when we come back in a couple of minutes' time. We'll see you shortly.
International football friendly.
Ronaldo strikes and Ronaldo scores.
Portugal versus Spain.
What a header that is.
Tomorrow, live and exclusive on beIN Sports 11. CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers. Brazil versus Bolivia. Saturday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports 1. UEFA Champions League. Group stage. Starts Tuesday the 20th of October, live and exclusive on beIN Sports. Wednesday, 21st of October, live and exclusive on beIN Sports. UEFA Nations League, group stage. Saturday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports channels.
Hello, welcome back to the Analysis Show with myself and Tim Sherwood. Don't forget to keep getting in touch with us on Twitter. Use the hashtag PLFans. Leroy's upstairs taking all your questions. Right, now we're off to Old Trafford. Liverpool hit for 7. Man United hit for 6. A really bad day in the office for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
And here is Martial looking to begin well and winning a penalty on 29 seconds. Manchester United have got another penalty. Fernandes invariably spot on. Spurs equaliser. Here is Son getting in behind again, and Son Heung-min has clipped Spurs into a 2-1 lead inside 7 minutes. Well, what a start to a game of football. Another hugely engaging match, which now has a red card. Martial, whose hand was up. And Ndombele, and Son, and Kane! And Spurs are flying! And against 10 men, they are feasting. Another power play from Spurs. Thrust wide for Aurier. Kane's available. Aurier has seen Son. Tottenham have 4 in front of the Stretford end. Oh, it's a lovely ball from Højbjerg for Aurier. 5 Spurs, 5 at Old Trafford. Davis, Dele Alli, Davis has gone down, Tottenham have got a penalty. Harry Kane wallops Manchester United for 6. Manchester United 1, Tottenham Hotspur 6.
The worst day in his Manchester United career is the way that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer described that defeat. And it's hard to argue with him, isn't it, Tim?
Well, I can tell him one thing. He's not going to have a worse one. Look on the bright side.
Isn't he?
No, I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he'll address it, or Man United might have to address it. That is not acceptable. Manchester United, the biggest football club in the world, in my opinion, they cannot perform like that. Anyone can get beat, yeah, and we saw Liverpool get beat. And we have to put it down to a one-off with Liverpool. I know we're not favouring Liverpool, but Liverpool have showed us nothing like capitulation at any stage over the last 2 years. They have not played well, and it should have been addressed from the first game of the season against Crystal Palace, but it wasn't. They didn't address it at Brighton. They got beat by the better. They won, but the better team lost the game, which is Brighton Hove Albion. They got lucky. They got the penalty in the last few minutes, and then you're playing against a top side like Tottenham, and you think you can get away with them mistakes again with no plan, with no structure, and he got punished.
But we did see this coming, and it could happen again, couldn't it? Because they did concede 3 against Brighton, and that could have been... They hit the woodwork 5 times in that game.
But hopefully, yeah, and they got away with it, but they should have been looking at it, and it papered over the cracks. This has to be a rude awakening. Now they've shipped 6 here. It has to be an awakening. Yeah, it is a shot, what they don't want. You know, so it's a wake-up call to say, listen, we're going to have to address it. Now you're going to have to try and play a different way, or play some way what we can identify. It doesn't have to be in a Manchester United way. If you haven't got the players to play the Manchester United way, then go back to being pragmatic and protect the 2 centre-backs, which is your weakness at the moment.
All right, well, we'll talk about the defence, and that is a weakness, and we'll talk about that shortly. But what about United's midfield? Because you said they've got to go back to basics and protect the defence. Does this Man United midfield protect that defence well enough? Because you've got Nemanja Matic, who's a holding midfield player. He's playing Pogba in a slightly withdrawn role, or supposedly, isn't he? 2 holding midfield players. That's the formation United are listed, 4-2-3-1. Fernandes then as the advanced midfield player. Does that offer enough protection then?
No, but I don't think they're playing with protection at the moment. I don't think the structure is. I don't think the
structure is, though, isn't it? The structure is Matic and Pogba.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's Matic, and I think it's Pogba as an 8 and Fernandes as an 8 on the other side. But
Fernandes plays higher than Pogba, though.
Yeah, he can find himself as a 10. He's the only person who could walk off that pitch with his head held high, come off at half-time to protect him. Never got an injury. He probably felt, this game's gone, we need to protect you, because at the moment, you're the only one doing it for us. He tries to trigger a press. No one follows him in. There's no structure. There's no game plan. There's nothing that looks like they've worked on a training pitch of, this is what we do in possession, this is what we do out of position. Looks like Ollie's got 11 players and gone, onto the pitch you go, and hopefully the world-class players like Rashford, like we saw him do at Brighton, win you the football match. You need to have a plan against good sides.
OK, well, if Matic is your holding midfield player, where's he going?
Well, listen, I think...
Look, I mean, you know, you're talking about protection. That back 4 is a problem, yeah?
Yeah. Well, we see this. But Ollie obviously hasn't seen this, Matt. He hasn't seen this as a problem. He feels like these 2, Bailey and Maguire, can take care of Harry Kane there. He's happy with that. But for me, that's wrong as well. Maguire should be in front, or Bailey in front.
One in front, one behind.
So one behind. Because if that ball got cleared to Harry Kane, he could just pick it up, and then Son would be running in behind, Lamella would be running in behind, and they're causing problems. At the moment, like I say, I can't tell you how Man United play. There is no plan.
Let's take this back. I've got to take it back. OK, Matic's up the pitch, OK?
Yeah.
But he's your protection, yeah? This is Matic. Lamella, OK?
Yeah.
Watch where they end up in, 2 or 3 minutes' time, 2 or 3 seconds' time. Matic to Lamella now. Look at that gap between those 2.
Yeah. Well, it's not right.
Well, these are holding midfield players.
But you know, if we go back, Matt, take it back, all the way back, this problem could be eradicated without Matic being a holding midfield player and a player we know needs to protect because the centre-halves are not good enough. But it could be organised. This never, ever gets to Harry Kane if Maguire is in front or behind. You would probably keep Bailly in behind because he's got the pace if the ball gets turned in there. Otherwise, Harry Kane would run Harry Maguire. Get across. What are you doing over there? I tell you what you're doing over there. Nothing. Get in here. And then you can push. Then you've got enough. Is that dangerous at the moment when you look at that?
No.
No, but what is he doing? He's redundant. He's redundant over there.
It is dangerous when your recovery runs aren't as good as the opposition.
We've played the game. You always, and I'd say it for the boys, you always run quicker towards the opposition goal as you do towards your own goal. But not if you're a responsible, sitting, holding midfield player with the experience of Nemanja Matic, who's won 2 Premier Leagues. Not good enough. He needs to pull him in, show him it, and say, talk to me about that recovery run. Okay. When Lamella's run past you and he's 20 yards away from you within 10 seconds.
And now, okay, they've got back into shape, okay? They've got back into shape, great. Space in midfield. Space. And Ndombele, Sissoko, Højbjerg. That's now Tottenham's midfield 3.
Yeah.
All of them in acres of space.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
And a contrast here, 2 tighter together, not one in front and one behind, but they're getting protected.
Yeah.
Protection, and what does he do? He's
going
on
the ball.
Stop it there, Matt. Martial's having to come back in there.
Is there an intensity to go and close this cross down even?
No. There's no intensity for the whole team, but the whole team shape is wrong. Why? Martial, you're at home. You're Manchester United. Martial should be standing up here. He should be standing up here and occupying the centre-backs. And the midfield have to come forward and put some pressure on the football. And if there's no pressure on the football, the defence have to drop off. But what this team do, they drop off irrespective. They just drop off irrespective. There's too much space between the back players and the front players of Manchester United at all times.
Yeah.
So you can't put a lively press on. Yeah. But that takes time on the training pitch.
So that's why Liverpool play the high line, though. Going back to Liverpool.
Exactly why they play
because they can get the press and the
press on. Yeah. More intense press. Okay. They're closer together. It just puts it makes the game more intense for when you're out of possession. With Manchester United at the moment, it's slow in possession.
No intensity.
It's slow out of possession.
Yeah. I mean, this is ball goes wide. Go on and get his head down. He's still got time to pick a pass.
Half-hearted. No. Sure, jogging out there.
Gives a free kick away. Hits his hand.
Yeah.
Okay, Pogba now is making a run forward. Right. Let's take this back. No pressure on the ball, Højbjerg, because United are so deep. Yes.
Yep.
So the gap between the back and the front is far too big, yeah?
Yeah.
That's far too big, that gap. Space for Højbjerg, space and Ndombele.
Yeah.
Pogba makes a decision to go at the ball. Now then, look at all that. How does that happen?
Incredible. It's just communication, talking to each other. Pogba cannot... Højbjerg has already took control of the football. Now, he's a good footballer. Now, he doesn't have to be a good footballer to play that pass in behind Pogba. If he's already got possession of the ball, you've got to stay back and stay on Ndombele. I would say, what I would want him to do is, as that ball's going into Højbjerg, be on top of him, right on top of him, so we can win it higher up the field.
But because they're so deep, they can't do that.
Can't do that.
We've seen him just running almost from this position.
Look at this distance. You've highlighted the distance. It's even more than that. I mean, the distance between... I would hate to play midfield for Manchester United at the moment. I would love to have had the opportunity, by the way. But I'd hate to play in there at the moment because I will be screaming at Maguire, squeeze up, and I'll be saying to the manager, you can't ask me to put pressure on because every time I put pressure on, the ball's getting played in behind me.
Around me.
It's
a
thankless task.
Is Matic not? Should he not be there?
But what was his job? What was he told to do? We cannot tell from the way Nemanja Matic played on Saturday. We can't tell what his job was. Because you even said to me, was it Pogba and Matic? They lined up on the TV.
Pogba, Matic, and Fernandes ahead.
They didn't play like that. So the manager's got to say to him, well, you're not doing what I've asked you to do. Or, like I said in the top of the show, was there a plan? I think it's more of the latter. There's no plan. There is no plan. It's just thankful. But please, can we win this football?
As you said, flip round the corner. And now they're running at you again. And Matic, you can't get near him. He's running alongside him.
Yeah.
Can't get close.
Look, even Wan-Bissaka's not tight. That's not tight.
This is Fernandes. He's the one, actually, that does put... Bruno Fernandes actually does put a bit of pressure on the ball, doesn't he? A bit of intensity into his game.
Absolutely. Fernandes and Van der Beek have come from structure. So they come from teams where there's a structure, there's a way of playing. Whenever I see them on the pitch, their body language is not great because they can't believe there isn't a plan.
Yeah.
When Van der Beek comes on and Fernandes, they're waving their arms all the time. They're waving their arms around saying, What, someone squeeze in? It should be done, I keep saying it, on the training pitch. It can't be done on the game. It should be second nature when you get to the game on a Saturday or Sunday.
Pressing in midfield. Ball's going into Pogba. Reaction. Tottenham. Watch that. Watch this. This is pressure.
Yeah.
This is intensity. This is closing down. Can't turn.
Yeah.
2 men around him. Reaction. Give him the ball away.
Yeah.
Massive gap, look, between... Look at the gap now between your deepest defender and your attacking.
Yeah.
Look at the gap. Look at the space. The structure of Tottenham.
Yeah.
The difference.
Yeah.
But that's intensity in midfield.
Yeah.
That's closing down.
Yeah.
Space.
But it was clear that Jose Mourinho's side at the weekend knew what to do out of possession. He picked a team knowing what he wanted them to do. In possession, they've got more to work on. Like, they're not the finished article,
No.
but they've got Harry Kane and they've got Heung-min Son,
Yeah.
which helps hugely.
Yeah.
But if you can't have it, if you're not got a fantastic philosophy going forward, you make sure you're defensively sound. And even against that attack, which I think on paper, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford is a very good attack.
Yeah.
With Fernandes in behind, they look so comfortable. I know they lost goals, and I know that a lot of their discipline went out of the window. We know that. We've been there. We can accept that. But when you play for Man United, unfortunately, you can't switch off at any time.
If you're not playing well, you've got to work hard.
Yeah.
That's a prerequisite, isn't
Yeah.
it? And if we look at the running stats of the Big Six, the traditional Big Six, so far this season, this is per game, Arsenal leading the way, which actually does surprise me a little bit. I thought, Liverpool, I would always expect to be at the top of that in terms of the distance covered. But Man United, right at the bottom.
Yeah.
That is 8 kilometres nearly behind Arsenal.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I'll tell you, Man City, if you look at Man City stats, their stats would be when they're running forward. I bet you Man United's a lot of their stats of the distance covered is when they're running towards the opposition goal as well. If you looked at Arsenal stats, which have improved immensely, theirs would be when they were running backwards. When Arteta's saying, when we lose that ball, we go to the ball and we recover. We make recovery runs.
Which is what we saw from Pep Guardiola, and he's worked under Pep Guardiola.
Because if we don't, we still got the same attacking players that Unai Emery had, but we were a soft touch. Because teams used to beat us. So we used to do all this attacking work and we used to make these pretty patterns and we used to score goals. But we didn't have the determination or the desire to run back in. But now he's shown them and he's told them, this is what you need to do. And if you don't, you will get beat and you will move nowhere in this league.
By the way, do you know who's at the bottom of those running stats? Fulham, 103.
Well, that's for a team that's just come up. And who's the top of the stats? Leeds United.
Leeds United are top.
Leeds United, because they want to run with intensity, because he demands it. It starts from that man standing on the technical area. It starts from that person. Now, Ollie has to get his finger out and sort this lot out live.
Well, this has rattled Tim. Leroy, has it rattled you?
It's not rattled me, it's rattled a lot of Man United fans, though, man. I've got loads of questions about this. I've got some stuff on recovery running in a minute, Tim, that might rattle you as well. But first, I've got this question from Salman. He says, given the inconsistency of Eric Bailly and Lindelof, should Man United have given Chris Smalling more of a chance before he went to Roma?
You've actually just said that to me off air. You said their best defender has just left the club.
Don't worry about Lindelof and Bailly. I'll stick Gary Maguire in there. I said it here last week.
Harry.
What?
You said Gary.
Harry Maguire.
I thought you said Gary.
No, Gary's a better player. Harry Maguire has to be in that mix. I mean, he can't be exempt from it at the moment. I'm hearing it, everything. I'm not just digging out Harry Maguire, but he's not doing it at the moment. Why should it be one of Lindelof or And the answer to your question is, Smalling's better than all three of them. He should still be at the football club for £15 million. £15 million, it's nothing to a Manchester United football club. Well, it obviously is because they can't do anything in the transfer market. But keep him at your football club. He's better than all three of the ones you just mentioned.
Absolutely. Look, he was a great defender, Chris Smalling. Nothing could be said against his
And
defenders.
he's the champion.
He certainly is. He certainly is. And you've got this one from Dan. It's not a question, but he says, Leroy, the funniest moment of the weekend was Luke Shaw appealing for a foul committed on him by Harry Maguire. He said, I couldn't stop laughing at it. Look, but you know what? what, Daniel, there were other funny things that happened this weekend. This wasn't one of them. This is Son against Man United. You know, they've just been showing the running stats for all the teams. And this was a vital moment in the game. I think it was at 1-1. I'm just going to play it on here. And this is Son. We know he's a fantastic player. I'm just going to pause it. There's a counter-attack. There's the Spurs setup, which Matt and Tim have just been talking about. Now, a lot of strikers would get drawn to the ball because the setup's fine. They've got 2 defenders behind the ball. It's all safe. They would throw themselves in there, but Son takes responsibility. And I want to list that word, takes responsibility, because it is so, so important. Again, I'll just play it on there. He's just spotted Martial. I'm going to pause it there. And he goes with Martial, the runner, because he's taken responsibility. He hasn't dived in. They've been drawn to the ball, those Tottenham midfielders, and he says, right, I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to go with Martial. Now, I'm going to pause it there. The next thing he does by taking responsibility is not dive in. You see so many players dive in. He could have done, and he could have said, oh, I've done my best. But no, he takes full responsibility because he knows that he's got recovery runners coming back. Look at them. Look at their body language. They're all coming back. They're all getting back in there. And he says, no, I'm just going to hold Martial up and do my job. By that, just watch what happens from there. Just by him standing up, and I say it again, take responsibility. I pause it now. Now look at Tottenham's setup. Look how many players have got back. Just because he has watched the runner, gone all the way back, there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tottenham defenders back against Man United, just because he's taken responsibility and defended properly. It was terrific. And that was a key moment in the game. We'll talk about Tottenham scoring 6, we'll talk about his goals, but that is just as important. And I'll just take you, and this is in comparison to fantastic recovery running. This is Tielemans, Leicester against West Ham. I've got, just split the screen here, OK? The first one I want you to watch is this side, OK? So as I play it through here, watch Tielemans, watch his body language. He's absolutely knackered. I'm going to pause it there. He's given up. He's absolutely, totally given up. Now I want you to have a look at this one. I want you to have a look at 2 people here. Fornals and the referee, OK? Because you know what happens? Both of them run past him. Both of them run past him. I'm going to pause it again here. There's Fornals now. Now, people say, what's the importance? He can't catch up with Declan Rice, the guy who was chasing. But I tell you what, that space in there, I'll just put, that space in there is massively important, OK? I want you to have a look now at this side of the screen. I'm going to play it through slowly. As Rice goes through and takes his shot, pause it there, just take it a little bit further forward, and pause it there, look at Fornals at the edge of the box. If that comes off the crossbar and drops into that space, Fornals has a free shot on goal, because this guy over here feels like he's knackered. And as a professional footballer, we have got to work when we're tired, funnily enough. And when you're tired, that shows whether you've got the determination and desire to get back, because those are the important moments. So, you know, those stats about running just shows. Leicester got a poor result this weekend. Tottenham got a great result this weekend. And it was about the running, not about the technical ability at moments during that
Leroy,
game.
I'm not sure you realise how tough it is to do that in midfield. You're a centre-forward who stands up front.
Come on, guys. Come on, run back. It's just got to run back. That's
Leroy.
all you have to do. You've got no technical ability in there,
Leroy, do you think Tielemans is tired?
Look,
He looked tired.
He looked tired, but he's not really tired, Tim.
Run it back. I'm going to show you something.
Go on, then.
We talked about running back towards your own goal, running to the opposition's, right? Watch his head, the roll, the head roll.
On the right-hand side.
That's the head roll. It is the biggest giveaway that I'm really tired, Gaffer. I can't get there. I would if I could. Tell all these kids out there, learn from it. We're on to that, boys. We know when you're tired and we know when you're not. Because a minute later, he's running without the head roll towards the opposition box. You said a good word, the most important word. Why does Heung-min Son play for Tottenham? Not because he scores, obviously because he scores all them goals. Why does Jose pick a football team, whoever it is? Sometimes you think, well, he's a better player than him. Responsibility.
Exactly.
He wants to put his head down on the night before the game and sleep tight, knowing he's going to get a responsible performance from his side. At the moment, he's getting that at Tottenham. Ollie looks like he ain't slept for 3 weeks. Says it all.
Keep your questions coming in on Twitter, #PLFans. Tim's really got himself going today, haven't you? Really up for it today, haven't you? Let's talk about United's defending then. We've talked about their midfield. What about their defending? What did you make of some of this? What about this for the first goal?
I mean, it's just a comedy of errors, and it's all from Harry Maguire. Where's he heading that, first and foremost? Where is he heading that, Matt? What is he thinking of? Head that out there.
It's got to come out this way, hasn't it?
It's got to come out.
Away from where...
The only thing I can think of, did Lamela give him a little nudge so his header goes into there? But it looks like he's strong enough to deal with that. He's headed it straight onto Bailly. Then he mistimes his jump, and then he pulls over Luke Shaw, and Ndombele scores. 3 mistakes in the space of 5 seconds. This is a huge mistake as well.
This one's got you riled, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is so childish. This is schoolboy football. There's a foul. He bowls him over for no reason. Stand on the ball.
Who stands on the ball here?
One of them, Wan-Bissaka or Harry Maguire. You have to make sure Harry Kane cannot put his hand on that ball and turn it in. Harry's thinking Mensa football brain. He's thinking straight away, where's Sonny? He's in tune with him, another Mensa football brain, puts his foot down and turns it in, because these guys stay off of one goal. Ollie has to be telling them and going through this. Okay. Bailly comes out here and tries to smash Reggie on. That's what he's doing, he's trying to hurt him.
Yeah, I'm just going to take it back, because there's a slight twist here, because Maguire's gone out to the left-hand side. He's trapped back, I think, from the corner. Luke Shaw's ended up in that position there. So those two have switched over, obviously, by Wan-Bissaka. So we have to bear that in mind, but it's a rash clearance anyway. Maguire, really, now he's a left-back, yeah?
Yeah.
We're saying he's a left-back.
Yeah.
So his first responsibility is that, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got to get there.
But if we talked about running and high intensity, if he wants to, by the time that ball gets there, he could get past Maguire, so Maguire can stay where he is as a centre-back, but he doesn't do that.
Okay.
So Maguire has to go to an area where he doesn't want to be. And now when you're there, Harry, you might as well go tight. You might as well squeeze and stop him rolling that ball through your legs into the near post.
So what's he pointing at? Is he pointing at Harry Kane here?
Yeah.
He's pointing at Harry Kane. Harry Kane's is Harry Kane a danger? No. I asked that question because, look at Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has tracked Lamela all the way in.
Yeah.
That's his man, yeah?
Yeah. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on Son. As soon as Luke Shaw says, no, I believe, even though he's a professional footballer, no, I believe Harry Kane is the danger and he's going to leave this gaping hole here. You watch his eyes light up, Son. Watch him change pace.
I'll play it slowly.
Watch. He cannot believe it, Sonny. He can't believe he's gone there. Oh, here we go, into that area.
Why is Shaw gone?
No idea. It's just a basic defending error. Now, that is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault. No. That is a decision-making from a player who come out after the game and said, we need new faces. That's embarrassing. Well, that's embarrassing, the way you defended there.
So, ends up going through Maguire's leg. Son runs past everyone.
Through De Gea's legs.
Flicks it through David De Gea. Deep. How deep are United? 10 men.
No pressure.
No pressure on the ball?
No pressure.
Again, time and space. Does he want to defend?
No. But what was alarming for me, you know, you're talking about 10 men, but what was the change? You go down to 10 men, normally you have a change, and you're picking it up, or at some stage you're going to think, hold on, this is damage limitation job. We cannot win this game after they score their fourth. So you get back in, you go and you fight for some pride. There was no change. And what he did is he left unreliable players out there. We know how good this kid is, Pogba. We know how good Fernandes is. Fernandes actually come off. He didn't want to prolong it for him any longer. But irresponsible players, Luke Shaw. I think Wan-Bissaka was half-hearted. Harry Maguire wasn't good. There were so many of them. But this goal is... This is a severe lack of discipline.
OK, well, if he... All right, say he doesn't want to run. Say he doesn't want to run.
Bring him off.
No, well, I'll say bring him off. He doesn't want to run. He doesn't want to run back. Go and get tight.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to do. You've got to get close to somebody. Affect something. OK, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go towards your own goal. OK, fine. Go and get close to someone. That's only a 10-yard run instead of a 30-yard run.
Yeah.
Not sure about this. Right. Is he aware... Is he aware of Serge Aurier?
Totally.
Yeah.
He's aware of him. Does he want to run with him? No. What does he want to do? He wants to cut off the passing line because it's a cheating way of doing it. It's fine if he intercepts it, but the pass from Højbjerg is so good that he can do nothing about it.
That's United's back four now.
Yeah.
That's not organised, is it?
Why is Luke getting involved here? Fred's taking care of this situation. Luke should stay here. You know, they can. The thing is, when you go into the dressing room after this happens, they all point a finger at each other. Well, it was his fault, and they could say here, they could do the video this morning probably if they were all there, not all of them away on international duty, by the way, believe it or not. And then they could sit there and they could say, well, he should have done that, Gaffer, and I thought he was going to do this or that. No, Ollie's got to say, no, I want you there. When the ball's here, you go there. We know the plan. We've done it through the week, guys, haven't we? You've seen it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We know what the plan is. Should be no arguments.
Yep. Well, there is an argument. And there's plenty of space because there's no pressure on the ball. Pogba doesn't go with his run. It ends up in the back of your net. You end up getting beat 6-1 at home. What's the back four of you, Newcastle? Who'd you pick?
Wow. New signing Tellers.
He plays, doesn't
he?
He
plays. Wan-Bissaka, I think, plays.
Two centre-backs.
The two centre-backs is the toughest job ever. I think he'll go Maguire and Lindelof.
Keeper? Will he change the keeper?
It's time for a change. It's time for a change, guys. I think Henderson has done well when he's come into the League Cup games. I think it's the right opportunity to change. But what needs to change is the philosophy and the mindset that they play for the biggest club in the world.
I was about to say, the mentality. Yeah. If you're not playing well and you go through bad spells, put a shift in.
Yeah.
Leroy, upstairs, any more for us?
Funnily enough, loads of Man United fans have been in touch.
do they want Tim as manager?
Well, they want Tim to answer a few questions. I'll tell you, burning questions. Kevin says, Tim, what do you think of Alex Telles signing for United? Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hunting down Portuguese players as a priority? What do you think of him, Tim?
Not seen an awful lot of him. He's obviously a very good player, plays for a good side, played a lot of games, Champions Leagues as well. So, listen, it's going to be how he settles. You know, they're going to need players to settle straight away. You know, I always feel sometimes players look very good players in other countries when they come to the toughest league in the world. You know, it becomes very difficult for him. Yeah. He's coming into a very struggling side at the moment as well in Manchester United. So I'm sure they've done their homework, hopefully, for Man United fans, and he's the correct option. Luke Shaw, it looks like it's the end for him. Perhaps he might go into a free. I think he's better there, free at the back. Maybe they could change the shape. Luke Shaw played there back end of last season a few times, done okay, left side of a free, because he doesn't have to run that much, which it suits him. So I think he might play there, and Telles might be a left wing back, you know.
Interesting there, Tim, because just off the back of that, you're saying about them changing their shape. Kevin says, guys, should Ole change into a more stable 4-3-3 formation like Jurgen and Pep? Do you think 4-3-3 is an option?
Matt said
it's effectively what they're playing, really, isn't it?
It's not really about formations too much. It's about principles. You know, if he's saying that the midfield, when we're out of possession, we all come back and we move forward together. We move in the rhythm of the football. As it goes forward, we all shift together. At the moment, they're fragmented all over. You know, we highlighted there on the analysis the defenders and the strikers. There's a gulf. There's a world apart.
There certainly is. And just finally, I'm going to leave you with a tough one, Tim. Henry says, question for Tim. What do you think is United's best midfield combination?
It's tough. I mean, we look at the most recent game and you would say, well, get rid of them all apart from Fernandes. But I think we have to get... I don't like defenders to help midfield players to be on the toes of the defenders. But I think at the moment it's a necessity. So perhaps you need McTominay and Matic in there.
Or Fred.
But it's just the principles of how you ask them to play. Are they the best players? No. What I would like to say is I would say one sitting midfield player and then play... I'll play Pogba and Fernandes, either side.
What about Van der Beek?
Van der Beek is a 10. I think he needs to come into the side now. I think to change the shape, maybe play a 10. A 6, 2 8s and a 10. Wow. Is that not numbers?
I think they picked 15 there. I think it's
14 players.
I
mean,
no,
it's tough,
you've got to leave one of the... You can't have 3 up front.
No.
At the moment, they cannot play with a 3 up front. They have to have 2. They have to get the right partnership up front. It won't be for Cavani for a long time, I would suggest. You know, he's got 2 weeks now to get himself fit. But will he come straight into the side? It's impossible for him to get fit enough.
Cheers, Leroy. Just quickly on Van der Beek, what must he be thinking then? How do I get into this team?
Yeah. Oh, well, I saw when Ollie made a couple of changes at half-time, he whispered to him, he was always saying, I don't want to put you in here, I'm going to try and preserve you. He brought him in 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
So, no, Van der Beek's a good player. I think he needs to play, but it's tough for anyone coming into Manchester United at the moment because the confidence is so low.
OK, it's time for a break. When we come back in a short moment's time, we're going to talk about playing out from the back and the risk and reward of playing out from the back. So myself and Tim will see you very shortly.
Major League Baseball. Division Series. Today, live and exclusive on beIN Sports channels. UEFA Euro 2020 playoff semi-final. Thursday, live and exclusive on beIN Sports. International Football Friendly. Tomorrow, live and exclusive on beIN Sports channels.
Welcome back to the Analysis Show, myself and Tim. Don't forget, keep getting in touch. Use the hashtag PLFans on Twitter. We'll do our best to answer as many questions as we possibly can. Right, Tim, let's talk about playing out from the back, the risk and reward of playing out from the back. Why do teams do it?
Well, they do it to bring the defence on, bring the opposition midfield on. And if they do it correctly, then it's on to play over the top of them, or they can play through them. If the press is intense, as we talked about, you know, like Liverpool's was with Mane, you know, when he's involved, or like Tottenham's was at the weekend, then I believe the risk far outweighs the rewards. If it's a half-hearted, then play through. I'm all for that. I'm not saying this everyone gets over to one side of the pitch and a goalkeeper kicks it long. I'm not saying that. I'm saying mixing it up is the right recipe.
We've seen teams give up goals playing that way this season. We saw one, and sorry to hammer United again, but we are going to show a United goal they gave away against Spurs. Let's play it through and talk me through this one.
See that. Sissoko straight away. It's a game plan. Jose Mourinho has worked on the game plan. Right?
So he's saying stay in.
He's saying stay. You remember the plan, guys? We stay. Because, believe it or not, even if we stay in there, Ollie's boys will try and play through us. Right? But they didn't imagine that they would try and play out like this. And nor did Harry Kane when he was set it up and he set the trap.
By saying, calm down, just relax, just... Because I think it's just gone to 2-1, hasn't it, at this stage? And Martial just sent off. Just saying calm.
Calm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK, so now he's going to play it short.
Because this is what they do.
What should he do then there?
First of all, he's getting it in the wrong position.
Yeah,
he should be wider. He should be here. He should be facing the play.
It's exactly what. So the idea is that you have your two players. Where Maguire is, yes.
Yeah.
So he's in a bad position.
So the leader of that is always the goalkeeper.
Yep.
But De Gea has decided, no, I'm going to give it to him. They've all lost their heads now. You know, they've had the sending off. Yep. You know, they've lost a couple of goals after taking the lead and looking like they will go on. And now he's got. I mean, they need to shift the ball quicker and they need to shift it firm.
Yeah.
But what you can't do is start threading balls into here and putting it at risk.
I'm going to point a couple of things out. It's the left back there, not even looking really, is he? He's trying to get himself into a position. Bruno Fernandes now, a bit higher up the pitch. Body shape. By his body shape. He's taken the ball like that, facing that way. That's all he can see. You can see nothing here. The ball, actually, is probably get Wan-Bissaka up here, and the ball should be there. That's what should happen.
The reason you would say Wan-Bissaka up here is because you would hope it would occupy him, Son, and give him a little bit more space. So Son would have to come back here. Otherwise, it's an easy pass, isn't it, into Wan-Bissaka here.
Goes back to the keeper. Maguire pulls out wide. He's still not opened his body up.
Yeah.
Still not opened his body up. Now, that is the ball now. Across your body, here. Now, you're playing out from the back to try and bring them on and leave space here.
Yeah.
There is space for Mason Greenwood to do that.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka gets the ball and plays that one down the line to Mason Greenwood.
Okay,
so you've gone 3 passes and you're in the opposition half.
And then Mason Greenwood's got a 1v1 with Eric Dyer, and you would fancy his chances. But the only thing I would say, Eric Greenwood would have to do it all alone, because look how far away Man United are to their front players. They don't do it together. There's nothing together with anything they do. It's as individuals. Now, you would say, they could argue, well, we're trying to make the pitch big. Well, let's just show what happened.
Never, ever play it on. Play across. I mean, what ball's he trying to find here?
He's trying to find that one in there.
Where's the ball here?
But Harry Kane...
That's too tight. That's too tight to play that ball. The only ball is this one.
Harry Kane there starts... He offers him the pass, but not in a million years, Matt, does he expect him to play it. He's offering it, saying, he's not going to pass it in there, surely. He said, but I'll offer it to, just in case he wants to. He can't believe his luck.
No.
Can't believe his luck.
Well, he's not even looked. He's actually not opened his body once to look at
So
Wan-Bissaka.
Harry offers him it. He steps away to offer him that pass in there. Look, there you go. And he goes and nicks it.
Yeah.
I mean, where can he go with that? Matic. Nick the ball. Son's reacted. Fill your boots. 10 yards out. Great from Tottenham's point of view. Great from the manager's point of view.
Not just United this weekend are giving it up like this. And we'll stop it here, because again, the ball, if he can open his body up properly, the goalkeeper, is probably there. That's the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, but his first touch is poor. He needs to do it on his right foot. And he unfortunately gets in between his legs, and he can only pass it with his left foot. And he makes the wrong option.
Do you know, what should he do here? Because actually, you never play it across your own goal, surely, like that, when the pressure's on. If he's got to this stage now, he might as well just come here, mightn't he?
Yeah, come out here, away from your goal.
Away from goal.
Never place it across your goal, because you don't know what's there. Who smelled blood there? Jack Grealish. He smells it. He knows something's in the offering here, and he just pounces all over Gomez.
Gomez could do a bit more, couldn't he?
He could do a bit more earlier, but you're still in a difficult position. He's not the most comfortable on the ball, is he, Gomez? So Jack just smells it, and it works perfectly. And then Watkins just gets himself a whip for the goal. I say, I'll stand around here. Jack will slide it into me. Easiest goal you're ever going to score against Liverpool.
But teams do it, and teams have been successful doing it as well. If I play this on a little bit, and we'll get all the players into the picture now.
Okay.
So we've got all the players in the picture now, okay? What is this?
This is not a press. This is not a press. So the reason it's not a press is because they almost take the pressure off themselves, Arsenal, because they leave 3 up the field. They've got 3 up the field here, and automatically they're pinned back. So you've got 4 here, goalkeeper 5,
holding
6 there,
6.
probably 7. So if we draw a line there across there, Matt.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Should I? I'll draw it there. I'll give them. So that's a holding midfield player, yeah.
Okay.
Are you happy with that or not?
Yeah.
No?
I'm happy with that. He's half and half. Let's call him half a player.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Arsenal players. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8v5.
8v5 in this area of the pitch.
That side,
okay?
yeah.
I'll blow the whistle, go. Try and win the ball. No chance. Not a chance. And that big area, will they ever win the ball? Because they've pinned them back, because they've left free up the field. They've pinned them back. They're keeping too many back. They're not organised. They've got a goalkeeper here as well. Arsenal can easily play out of this situation. Because it's a half-hearted press. It's neither here nor there. Do we stay back? We're half safe.
Like we just saw from Tottenham, saying, we stay. We're all in, we're all pressing.
We either all stay or we don't. But they're brave because they keep free up the field. That's the whole reason this works. But it's like, there's no pressure.
That's not pressure. That's not really pressure either, is it?
No, no pressure. There's your pivot,
That's the
man.
pressure. That's the pressure there. That's a bit of pressure.
And now they're out. That is exactly why they do
Bit of luck. They could have lost it here.
Yeah. But now they're in the opposition half. Aubameyang pulls off the back of Odoi, and the rest is history.
Yeah. OK.
But what I would say, Arsenal have been caught.
Yeah.
They've been caught a lot. And they've been caught a few times against Liverpool. Because you know why? Because it was an intense press. It was Sadio Mane. We showed it earlier when he went against them. They've got to identify when it's a real press and when it's a half-hearted press.
Now, Man City, you'd say, probably always try and play out, don't they, from the back if they can?
Yeah.
Yeah? Let's watch this. OK. Now, you're saying there's not a press. Now, actually, this is a press, isn't it?
Full press?
Full press.
Full press.
5v. So, well, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
5v5.
5v5.
That's a bit different.
Or these two over here, 6v6. Whatever you want to do, right? But that is a press. Now, you're risking it. But the person who has to make the decision and the responsible decision is Ederson.
Goalkeeper.
Right? So what they've done, they kept the free up. But what Everton have said is, well, we're all right. We've got 3 and the goalkeeper 4. We don't need any protection. Don't you? Do you know who knows this? The person to watch out for here is one player who's going to break and support is Kevin De Bruyne. He knows this is the plan. We suck him in, we play over the top, watch Kevin De Bruyne. Highlight him there.
There he is.
Now, we talked about, it's been a theme, running towards the opposition and the opposition's goal or running back towards your own goal. Watch Kevin De Bruyne. Ederson drops a great pass into this little area here.
Run from...
There's De Bruyne. There he goes. Broke everything. In behind. Too late. Danger's done. Horse has bolted in the back of your net. Finished. That is why people play out.
In your coaching career, what would you prefer to do? Depends on personnel?
No. No. I think any professional footballer should be able to play out. If you've got a press like Fulham are pressing there, that's not a press. You know, they might stand in them areas. Like Manchester United are doing at this present moment in time. That's not a press. Play out round that. If it's an intense press, like Leeds are showing, play over the top of them.
Let's go upstairs. Leroy, you got anything on this?
Yeah, look, really interesting discussion, guys. And I just wanted to balance it up because, you know, Tim's right about mixing it up. And it's about decision-making, you know, and making the right decision at the right times. The best players usually do that. Now, I've got this clip, Leeds against Man City, and Leeds are in good possession with the throw. And I'm just going to play it on. And as the ball goes back to the keeper. I'm just going to pause it here. He goes long. I'm just going to take it back a little bit. And then pause it there. Now, Bielsa will be really upset with this because this actually led to the Man City goal. Now, I want you to look at the midfield player here. He's a good player. Now, all the keeper has to do is just play it in there and he goes out in 1 or 2 touches and Leeds are out. But this is why coaches are asking players to play at the back because on too many occasions this happens. You just kick it long, he kicks it straight to Mendy. Man City come back, they make another mistake, and usually 2 mistakes lead to a goal. And against top quality players, you give them the ball back, they're going to punish you. On this occasion, it's Sterling sticks it in the bottom corner. So that's why coaches are asking to take control and take responsibility with your passing. So Messier, as then Bielsa, will be going mad. Just a simple pass in the midfield gets you out. He makes the wrong decision, goes long, kicks it aimlessly, it comes back, and you gets punished. So is it wrong to play at the back? Well, it is wrong if you get punished. It isn't wrong if you make the right decisions. It's as simple as that.
It's making the right call at the right time, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
And you're saying, and Tim's saying, it's the goalkeeper that has to make that call.
Exactly. I think in possession, you have to make the correct call. Out of possession, no negotiation. If you're a pressing team, you go press. I'm not tight to you. We're social distancing at the moment, so I can't show the people at home. But if I want to get tighter, I am all over you. You're smelling my breath there, Matt. It ain't great. I'm making sure all the time I am all over you. That is no negotiation. We are pressing out of possession. In possession, you make your own decisions.
OK, let's get to Goodison Park. Let's have a look at the table toppers.
Short, Sigurdsson clipping it in, and he's in again. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, they cannot keep this man quiet. Alzate, good ball for Lamptey. 5 targets for him inside that penalty area. He's back in from Trossard, the bounce awkward. Pickford can't handle it, and it's turned in for 1-1. 5 in blue in that penalty area. And it's whipped in dangerously, and there it is for Yerry Mina. Trossard, straight to James Rodriguez, it bounces for Calvert-Lewin, Iwobi in support for him, Calvert-Lewin waiting for the pullback, and here's Rodriguez for 3-1 Everton. No foul on Alzate, and Everton will be able to set up a counter-attack here, 4 against 4, but Brighton are getting more bodies back quickly. To Iwobi, it's Doucouré, Calvert-Lewin waiting for the pullback, it's Rodriguez instead, and goal number 4, absolutely inevitable. Now Bissouma, what a good goal, nothing more than a consolation. Everton's perfect start maintained, their best opening to a season since 1894. This one finishes Everton 4, Brighton and Hove Albion 2.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin absolutely flying at the start of the season. He's not the only one, though, in an Everton shirt. I don't know about you, Tim, but James Rodriguez has really caught the eye, hasn't he?
He's been magnificent. You know, he's very elusive the way he's drifts into them areas, plays off the right, comes inside on his left foot. No one really wants to pick him up in the areas, and he's picking passes. What was really encouraging for the Everton fans as well, he's getting himself on a back post and he's putting himself on the score sheet.
It's funny because we've talked about running stats and you know, people really charging about the pitch. He's made 7 sprints in 4 games, James Rodriguez. He hasn't needed to sprint. It's his quality that's shone through.
Not everyone has to do it. If your team is built around him, I think he was at his best. We've talked about when he plays for Colombia, that they built the team around him. When he went to Bayern Munich, when he went to Real Madrid, he was just another fish. Here, he's the main man.
Ancelotti said, and we'll play it through, he said, you know, were you worried about James Rodriguez adapting to the Premier League, the pace and everything of it? He said, you know what? He said, the pitch is the same. It's 11 versus 11. The goals are still the same size. Quality can play anywhere. And he got clattered a few times early on in the game, didn't he?
Well, yeah, that's what you'd be doing. If I was a manager, I'd be telling players to get tight to him. You know, see if he likes a little bit of this treatment. This was very early in the game. Didn't blink an eyelid. Just carried on. Got the ball in good areas. And
that's 3 times now.
Yeah, but
early on in the game,
he wasn't phased. You know, he wasn't phased of it. He almost took it as a compliment.
Yeah, he does work. It's not like, you know, we were saying perhaps he hasn't done the sprints, but you know, he will do the defensive side of the game as well when needed.
Yeah, I mean, he puts a shift in because he knows he has to. And you know, when your team's winning, you want to run around, don't you? You want to put a shift in. It's a feel-good factor through the whole club there at Everton at the moment. You know, they feel like there's something bubbling underneath. But, yeah, he puts a shift in. If the ball's in that vicinity, he'll put his foot in. Yeah. He tries to nick it. He's a dribbler. You know, he is one-paced. I mean, looking at his stats, for probably thinking they are... I mean, he's not going to run away from anyone. He's pretty similar to you.
Leroy.
Or me.
His positioning, he's always in space. Doesn't get tight to people, does he?
No, this is the area where the defender doesn't really want to come out there and the midfield player doesn't want to go back. He's clever. He knows when to stand still, Matt. And you know, sometimes the best things.
Again, he reads that. He's almost saying, go on, play that ball again, isn't he?
He's offering it. Like the Harry Kane one, offering it. Trossard, surely you won't play this one. But he doesn't stand still, nicks the ball.
This is what I like, though. The awareness, because he knows where the space is now. He knows where the space is, so he's going to work his way into that area.
Yeah.
So that's what I like.
And it's a good finish. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
He has to wait for that. It's never stopped raining from start to finish in this game. And he had to watch that skid off the surface, and he did brilliantly.
Yeah. Yeah, it goes to go,
Yeah.
stops, noses in the space.
Yeah. He's assessing it now, assessing the game, sees Doucouré's run, and he decides, I'm going to get myself on the back post, I might score again. Great ball from Doucouré, watches it onto his foot. Another very good finish, what he makes look very easy.
And it's only Liverpool next.
I'll tell you, one big up for Mina as well. I mean, another Colombian. I thought he was a weak link, and I said it before the game. I was doing that game the weekend. He was outstanding, Mina. It was fantastic. Perhaps good Godfrey's coming the door.
Okay.
Little competition.
Yeah, final time. Let's go up to Leroy. Bit of fun, I think. Leroy?
Yeah, a bit of fun. There was loads of things going on this weekend. It was a ridiculous weekend of Premier League football. But what I noticed was the nutmegs. People sticking it between people's legs. I absolutely loved it. There were so many of them. This one was Jack Grealish against Liverpool. And he's got his head up here, and it's Van Dijk, of all people. He does it. I mean, there's not even space for that. It's not even space for it. This one's brilliant. Ceballos. McBurney comes back. This is why a centre-forward shouldn't come back and defend. Nuts. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. This is finally this one. Again, absolutely. I would claim this one. Morpay on Keane. I'd claim that. I think he meant that. I think that he meant that. Don't you, Tim?
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely no chance, as he meant, Leroy.
Fantastic skill, Morpay. I love it.
Yeah. we weren't really known for that, Tim, were we? A little bit of showboating and that in the middle of the field.
No. You either play the piano or you carry it, and I think we were carriers.
Let's have a look at the Grealish one again quickly, shall we? Let's have that Grealish one, because you're a big fan of his, aren't you?
He waits for Barkley. He looks there. He knows he's got a delayed tactic. Look how I love the way Van Dijk tries to close his legs there. I mean, look, he tries to drop his knee to stop it going through, but there's just no way he can. He's
nutmegs. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. Thanks to Tim, thanks to Leroy, thanks to you for watching as well. No games this weekend, it's international break, but we'll back with plenty to analyse. Goodbye.